This cover-up was unnecessary. All of this was so unnecessary. Hey guys, this is Jules with True Crime Reactions. Disclaimer. Everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. So yesterday I had a comment on a video and it just said, you're going to flip out when you see who just got promoted at WSU. So without even commenting, I went and Googled this, and this was the name that popped up. I was befumbled, guys. Befumbled, befuddled, discombobulatingly confused, all of the things, okay? Because for those of you that have been around for quite some time, you guys know all about Don Daniels' discretions when it comes to the Idaho 4 case. But for those of you who don't know, or just to give you guys like a little light refresher, let me just play this old clip. And the reason why it really matters is because when it comes to this one right here, this reddish brown stain on the uncased pillow on the south side of the bed, two separate stains, they were cut. Only the larger stain was tested. This one was positive for blood, right? This one was positive for blood. Then we have the mattress cover on the bed in the northeast room on the edge facing the doorway. There was a brown irregular drip. That one also positive, okay? The reason why it matters is because little Miss Dawn Daniels doesn't know how to do her damn job. And the only real pieces of anything that was worth a damn, even if they were something important, which they're not, even if they were, they would still, in my opinion, have to be excluded as evidence because of Dawn Daniels. She completely forgot to do her job. She did not put the blood samples where they belong. So at the very end of her narrative right here about what apparently happened during the search. So then whenever Ann Taylor comes to the apartment on the 10th of January, she then says, while at the apartment, I explained to the attorney I had forgotten to include the 3 samples taken from the apartment and provided her a copy of the return of search. So, for those of you who didn't know, now you understand why I was all of those crazy words that I said previous to that clip whenever I saw that she was the one being promoted. Now, this is an article from PullmanRadio.com, and it was posted yesterday, October the 1st, and it states, sweet and simple, local police chief Gary Jenkins has announced his second attempt at retirement. WSU police chief will retire in June, so that would be June of 2025. WSU Assistant Police Chief Don Daniels is being promoted to chief and will take over for Jenkins next year. Jenkins came out of retirement in the summer of 2022 to take over at WSU PD. The move came after the department's command staff abruptly retired during a scandal involving sexual misconduct inside the department. Now, for those of you who don't know about that situation, I know a little bit about that situation, enough to know that it was talked about by a few different channels in the beginning of this case because everybody was looking at the police in both Pullman, WSU, Moscow, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and go over this article just so that we can get a little bit of information and maybe some people that don't know about that situation can also be brought up to speed on it. This is an article from the Spokesman Review, and this was posted on August 9th of 2022. It states, the 3 top officials with the WSU Police Department have resigned following a disciplinary investigation that revealed they failed to advise university officials that an officer allegedly had sex in the presidential suite of Martin Stadium while on duty. The university said in a news release Tuesday that Police Chief Bill Gardner, Assistant Chief Steve Hansen, and Captain Mike Larson have announced their intent to retire in lieu of pending disciplinary action, which may have included termination. The command staff failed to notify university officials of a December 2020 internal investigation into the allegations involving WSU Police Sergeant Matt Kurt. So the police department started the internal investigation into the police sergeant, but did not notify the university itself. Yeah, that's not okay. The incident was brought to the command staff's attention by an officer who was contacted by a 911 dispatcher who asked for advice on how to move forward with reports regarding Kurt, according to an investigation report from the university's HR services. The officer notified the command staff of the allegations against Kurt, and the command staff launched an internal investigation headed by Larson. Gardner and Hansen told investigators with the university's Compliance and Civil Rights Department, as well as the Human Resource Services, that Kurt admitted to the allegations. Larson was not able to locate a witness or the person involved with Kurt. The department deemed there was not enough evidence to take a personal action, but Kurt was disciplined in the form of a letter of admonishment from Gardner and was banned from working overtime during the summer of 2021. So he admits to doing whatever he did, and then the only thing that actually happens to him is he just doesn't get to work more. I mean, that might hurt like pockets for not having extra money, but in reality, you're just like not, you're putting more work hours that are needed on the other men on the team because now this person's punished from his portion of it. So that's actually not fair, like whatsoever. Weird. Punishment, I guess that's normal in these situations. I guess I don't know what's normal anymore, guys. I'm just talking out of my butt. An officer told investigators that Kurt had told them in fall of 2021 he had offered to provide the name of the woman involved to the command staff, but that they had said it was not necessary, according to the HR investigation report. Larson wrote in his report that he could not substantiate the allegations without talking to the other person involved, whose identity he did not have. I mean, honestly, if he admitted to doing something like that while on the clock, why not just fire him? Like, why all the cover up and all the stupidity? Unless he did something without somebody's consent. If these were two consenting adults and he was just an idiot that did it on the clock, just fire him. Why all of this stupidity? So this person who actually like messed up something in an investigation, i.e. Don Daniels, is getting promoted all because of some stupid men that didn't want to punish a man for doing something stupid by actually just firing him for not doing his job correctly and admitting to it. This cover-up was unnecessary. All of this was so unnecessary. Now, this is also an article that was posted on October 1st, which was yesterday, and it's from the WSU.edu actual WSU Insider. This is basically the way that the Argonaut is for the University of Idaho. Now, I'm not going to go over what it says about Jenkins, but I was curious as to what they said about Don Daniels. So let's just see. Daniels, a WSU alum, joined the department in 1998 and has progressively advanced through the ranks. She was appointed to her current role in 2022, all because of some really unnecessary boo-boo, as we just learned. Assistant Chief Daniels has dedicated her career to serving our WSU community with integrity, commitment, and unwavering professionalism. Tell that to the DNA evidence that came out of Bryan Kohberger's apartment. Throughout her career, she has demonstrated an excellent ability to connect with our students. Do you really want your police officers to be that close to the people that they're guarding? Isn't that kind of like what the original problem was? Okay, we're just going to continue. Inspire our team and forge strong community partnerships while upholding the values we cherish. She understands our history, our challenges, and the importance of collaboration, transparency, and the unique nature of policing on a college campus. Sure. She admitted to Ann Taylor what she did the second that Ann got to Bryan Kohberger's apartment. But why couldn't she have made a phone call before this? Why didn't they know about this before Ann Taylor and her met at Bryan Kohberger's apartment 10 days later? How is that professionalism? How is that having values as a police officer to do your job correctly? You didn't even tell them until they met you at the apartment. What is it, like a 12-minute drive? From WSU to U of I, from Pullman to Moscow? I don't understand why the evidence wasn't transported where it was supposed to be. Why wasn't the evidence put where it needed to be in that 10-day period? Why was no notification given? And why is it just okay and not being questioned more? I just don't understand. Prior to taking over as chief, Daniels will participate in a rigorous 10-week training program at the FBI National Academy in Quantico, Virginia. The prestigious program is geared towards equipping law enforcement professionals with the kind of skills and exposure that's needed in law enforcement leadership roles. What kind of brainwashing goes on there? Super curious. Oh, and don't forget, whenever we talked about this guy, yeah, the cop that had been fired or made to resign from like a million departments, but still was able to get hired on as a CO at a jail. That guy, you remember? The one who got caught playing homemade spicy videos in front of his like other officers while on the clock? That guy, let's not forget that he was also a WSU cadet. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, this is what the video looks like. A link for it will be in the description box. It's a doozy. So yes, that viewer was very correct. I basically just flipped shit whenever I saw this, but it's not shocking. It's not surprising. It's what we see all of the time. We see officers and people of authority and power get promoted when they don't deserve it. It's happened in cases that I have personally been intertwined with. For those of you that know my story, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm just sick and tired of repeating it. But this is what constantly happens. These officials, these elected officials, these people that take oaths, these people that are supposed to be protectors, these people that are supposed to have the American citizens and citizens in general at the basis of every move they make for our protection and our protection only, always end up failing us, but then getting promoted and rewarded for their failures. Everything is ass backwards. I don't even really know if this is real anymore. But let me know how you felt about this little tidbit of information down in the comments. And if you like the way that I present this information and give my opinion, please don't forget to leave a like on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. And don't forget to make sure that your notification bell is set to all so that you don't miss any of my rants, reviews, reactions, updates, or deep dives. See y'all.